पियासी मोहे सुन सुन आवत हासी।
Kabir Das G and all our great saints have observed life and really don't find life to be a tragedy, but indeed a comedy. Most people suffer through life and they do not know, because ignorance is bliss. And therefore want to remain in ignorance. They do not want to think. But the moment you start thinking, the moment you start becoming an intelligent human being, the moment you start inquiring, after that, you can never be at peace. Anyway, we are not in peace. Yeah? But you can't be at peace till you find the secret, till you find the truth, till you find that happiness, gaining which there remains nothing more to gain, and in which happiness there is no sense of unfulfillment. There is only constant reveling. One of the most beautiful bhajans of Kabir that I first heard from Guruji himself speaks about this comedy of life. So for most people, life ends in a tragedy. But for the wise, life is a comedy. And therefore, such great masters, they don't make us sad, they actually make us laugh. Just like Gurudev made all those teenagers laugh. Yeah? Because they don't have as many burdens of sorrow that you have. Therefore, conjuicy, a little bit of miserliness in laughing. But Kabir Das Ji says, whether you laugh or not, Kabir Das Ji observes life, and from the abode of truth, when he looks at his many, many lives and looks at the many lives in this world, he says, I cannot but find life as a comedy. And what is that comedy? He says,
पानी में मीन पियासी मोहे सुन सुन आवत हासी। पानी में मीन पियासी मोहे सुन सुन आवत हासी। गुरु बिन ज्ञान ज्ञान बिन चेला निस दिन फिरत उदासी। गुरु बिन ज्ञान ज्ञान बिन चेला निस दिन फिरत उदासी। पानी में मीन पियासी मोहे सुन सुन आवत हासी। आत्मराम की खबर न जाने, मथुरा जाओ चाहे काशी। आत्मराम की खबर न जाने, मथुरा जाओ चाहे काशी। संत कबीर सुनो भाई साधो सहज मिले अविनाशी पानी में बीन पियासी मोहे सुन सुन आवत हासी पानी में बीन पियासी मोहे सुन सुन आवत हासी मोहे सुन सुन आवत हासी मोहे सुन सुन आवत हासी
पानी में मीन पियासी. That if you see a fish in water, constantly, drinking water, drinking water, drinking water, as though never quenched with the thirst of water. Now, suppose you heard that a fish who lives in water is thirsty. A fish that lives in water is thirsty. Will you not feel like laughing? Now you don't care. You to generally go and eat a fish sometimes. So, पानी में मीन पियासी, मोहे सुन सुन आवत हासी. Now tell me, these children that you have brought here, whether your grandchildren or children, if one day they come from school and tell mom, I've got tension, I have stress. These days you quite hear about stress in children. So mother will say, but what are you stressed about? Examination? That mummy is also stressed about. Yeah? He says, I am stressed because, and I'm very worried, I'm very concerned, I'm very miserable. Mummy will be very, very concerned, miserable, just hearing this, no? Why? I don't know whether I'm going to get food today or not. See? As a mother, you will start laughing. Yeah? That when mother is at home, and that too also capable, or even if there is nothing at home, if mother is at home, do you have to worry? Yeah? Now can you see how many such comedies we have in our life? That's why, Bhagwan must be sitting up there, if he's sitting up there, and just laughing away with all the prayers that we do. Yeah? With all the tension that we take up. Puja Gurudev, in his talks in Viveka Chudamani, made us once laugh on one scene that there was a fish, a big fish. But in the ocean, how big can any fish be? Even a whale. This big fish suddenly was rolling on the surface of the ocean. Rolling. Finally, the ocean asked, "Oh little fish, what are you doing?" The fish said, "I'm trying to catch my tail. I'm trying to catch my tail." The ocean says, "But why would you want to catch your tail?" "Because I'm very afraid that I might sink. So I am trying to catch my tail to pull myself up." Funny, no? As I said, no? These saints are funny only. Whether it was Sant Kabir or whether it is our Gurudev. How ridiculous, and the ocean just has to say that I support the entire creatures of the ocean. But you can't lift yourself by holding your tail. You just let yourself loose and I will support you. You cannot sink into the ocean. But not to sink, pulling her or pulling his tail, the fish struggles with a constant fear that I will drown in the ocean, where the ocean supports the life, supports the buoyancy. Is it not? And therefore, isn't life a comedy? That we worry about things that we need not worry about. We are tensed about things that we should not be tensed about. We feel miserable in the struggles of life for not getting what we want. But most of the time we don't even know what we want. And therefore, Sant Kabir says, Paani mein Meen Piyaasi. Thirst is for what? What are we all thirsting for? What are we all hungry for? What is it that we want and day and night we struggle for? Yeah. All those of you students of Vedanta, for happiness. You'll say it. But happiness for us is at some different period of time, in some different place, in some different thing. What Sant Kabir says is, Paani mein Meen Piyaasi. That the fish lives in water, surrounded by water, and can live because of water. And if that fish was not in water, the fish would not even be alive. So living by water, living in water, surrounded by water, still remains thirsty, still wants more and more of what? And Sant Kabir wants to say, and in another beautiful verse, he has said, Sukh sagar mein aayi ke mat jao re pyasa pyare. The Sant Kabir Das G's word, other saints have also used it. That we are in the ocean of bliss. We are surrounded by bliss. We are sustained by bliss. We have come from bliss, we are sustained by bliss, we merge back into bliss. Bliss means happiness, ananda. And yet, ignorant, surrounded by bliss, in bliss, bliss outside us and bliss inside us, and still, like a blind man, or like that fish, constantly searching when that what we seek is here and now. Gurudev used to tell us another story, which again comes from saints' literature only. Another comedy story. In the railway station, one Seth Ji, who just brought his first class ticket, gets into this compartment, and a young man who had bought a second class or third class ticket, whatever, also comes into the first class ticket, and the ticket collector comes. Yeah? He extends his ticket to the same destination or beyond the destination of the Seth Ji, the rich man, and of course he upgrades his ticket. That Seth Ji that evening takes out his bulky purse, counts all his big notes, puts back his purse in his pocket, goes to the toilet, comes back, lies down. This young man also goes to the toilet, waiting for this man to go to sleep, and when he is snoring, comes back to the compartment and searches and searches and searches and searches for that purse in that small compartment, in the bag, in that pocket that he put in. And the Seth Ji is, बोलते ना घोड़े बेचकर सो गया है. He has sold off, or he has probably banked all his, and there were no ATMs at that time in the railway station, right? Or in the railway compartment. Where has he kept his money? He searched all night and he couldn't sleep, searching every nook and of that compartment. Next day morning, after he's come back from the toilet, this man is counting his notes and putting it in his pocket. Next night, the same ritual. This time he knows, I will find out what happens. That night he searched even in the toilet, because black money those days used to generally be put in a plastic and put in the flush. Not flushed out, put in the flush. He went, checked that also, looked under, anyway, he searched everywhere, including under the commode. Yeah. And still he did not find it. Next day, the purse is there. And after 3 nights' journey, when the Seth Ji is getting down on the station, and this man is also getting down on the station, that man says, "Beta, son, you have not slept for 3 nights. Go home and sleep. Yeah. And buy your ticket home." Gives him charity. Go and sleep. So he said, "You knew I did not sleep, but you were fast asleep." He says, "I was fast asleep because I know that you were not asleep." Yeah. Why? Because I know, my ancestors have told me, my Bap Dadaji, parampara, knowledge comes in our Gurukula, in our family institutions only. That whenever you travel, there will be someone looking at your money. That's what, Swamiji. You seem not to have any tension. If I don't look after my money, doesn't look like God looks after my money. There are people there to steal. So he told him that by that taught me that there will be people. He said, "But how did you know?" He said, "Why are you asking me so many questions?" Because again, you're asking different questions to become professionally better. Because that is what we generally want to know. Many of the youngsters, when they come, what they're interested in, what I find the purpose of my life, how do I work efficiently, how do I motivate myself, no? So he's asking these questions, and this man is entertaining him and says, "Yeah, how did you know that I came for your money?" Simple, you were standing at the third class compartment, and anyway, You didn't even know where you were supposed to go. You are confused like any youngster, don't know where to go. What is your destination? And you upgraded yourself after coming into the compartment. So I very well knew why you have come here for, why you are investing. Naturally, I know why you have come here for. Gurudev would dramatize all this so that we learn many lessons in between. Yeah? Not just drag an example. We learn many lessons in between, that what do we ask, what do we do, why do we do, what do we do for? And finally, when he told him that this is how I recognize that you are a thief. Acha, but where did you keep the money? Because I searched for it everywhere. He said that one place you did not search is under your own pillow. Yeah? Because you will search everywhere, but you will never search where it is. Paani mein Meen Piyaasi. Yeah? Surrounded by that ocean of happiness, ocean of bliss, that Satchidananda Brahma, surrounded by that, pervaded by that, still Meen Piyaasi, thirsty, constantly craving, constantly wanting, not satisfied. Now, the works of Sant Kabir was through oral traditions. It was sung. And it became so popular that people would just sing and learn from these beautiful, sometimes couplets, dohas, these shabads, these words that are sung, these words to revel in. Ramayanis. And therefore, over a period of time, some variations are found. Also, certain verses of different shabads are also used, and very often even different dohas are introduced into these shabads. But they are all Kabir Das G's works only. In this, there is also some additional verses where it says that Ghar mein basat dhari nahi suje, bahar dhundan jasi, mrig ki nabhi mah kasturi, ban ban khojat basi. That what is lying in the house, they do not see, they go searching for it outside. In the musk deer, in its own navel, is the source of that sweet, intoxicating smell of the musk. That some men wear the chemical ones and give allergies to the people. But the musk is sensing it, feeling it, and still does not have the sense that wherever it goes, it gets a whiff of it and still searches for the source of it. The fact that we are getting whiffs of happiness, happiness is everywhere, all the time. That wherever we go searching for happiness, and if we find it, and wherever we go we are finding it, or even we have the hope for it and we are not finding it, or because we have tasted a little bit of it, or we keep on getting a hope or whiff of it, not recognizing that that source of happiness is in our own home. And home, as you will read further in the works or listen in the works of Kabir, home means this body. And there is itself where we don't search. We search for it in every object of the world, in every corner of the world, in London, Paris, Moscow, in Delhi, Chennai, Bombay. Yeah? These few days they will be all in big cities. Yeah? Or in Lonavala. But not at home in Vibhuti. So everywhere we search, just as that man would not search for the purse in his own pillow or pocket, just as the deer searches for that sweetest of all smell, fragrance, and does not realize that it is there in its own navel, and runs and runs and runs in the forest, getting either trapped or getting lost, hungry and thirsty sometimes also, and exhausting itself and falling down dead, but not recognizing that the musk was with it all the time. Therefore, Paani mein Meen Piyaasi, mohi sun sun avat hasi. The musk is with the deer, but the deer searches for it everywhere. Then where do we find it? Kabir Das G immediately says, Guru bina gyan, gyan bina chela, nisidin rahat udasi. If something which is there all around you at all times and still you are craving for it, you still remain unsatisfied and unhappy, it can only be due to your ignorance. Vedanta established that before only. Kabir Das Ji is also first only telling us that without knowledge, we roam around helpless, craving, sad. Because until and unless we are satisfied, we are only sad. And when we are sad, we become bad. The Guru bina gyan. Knowledge, to how much do I have? Got masters, I've got PhDs, and now there is post-PhD, post-doctorate, undergrad, grad. Today, even Vedanta is available, spiritual knowledge is available in universities. But Guru bina gyan. All these words, Kabir Das Ji is going to expound upon and explain. But this summarizes the complete spiritual path, the spiritual dilemma, the solutions of life. That knowledge which is gained from the Guru. And who is the Guru? Kabir Das Ji will point out. But Guru means one who directly knows the truth and has the language to communicate the truth. And the truth is that which is found, known by all men and women of realization. So that knowledge cannot be gained without the Guru. So Guru bina gyan. So whatever knowledge we have without attested, confirmed by the Guru, or that knowledge which we have gained, which is not from the Guru who knows the truth. And if there be a disciple who has not got that knowledge from the Guru, Jnana bina chela. Chela means generally disciple. बड़ा जगत में तो लोगों के चेले कितने होते हैं? Followers. They keep on following people without any knowledge. Neither the guru has the knowledge, who claims to be the guru, and neither the chela is interested in the knowledge. He or she just wants some miracle, or definitely one thing is for sure, they get good food. No, there are people who will openly say that I follow because one thing is for sure, food, good food is guaranteed. Guru bina gyan, that knowledge which is gained not from the guru who knows the truth. And gyan bina chela. People want to become followers, people want to follow without any knowledge, without even wanting knowledge. Nisidina rahata udasi. That even on the spiritual path, those who claim to be, day and night, they remain sad only. And what is to be known? What is to be known? What is that knowledge given by the guru? And what is that knowledge that the disciple must gain from the guru? Atma Ram ki khabar na jani. Did not come to know the knowledge of that Ram who is the self, the Atma of everyone. Did not come to recognize that Ram who is your own self, Atma. Then, Mathura jao chahe Kasi. Then you may roam around searching for that Rama Krishna in Mathura or that Shiva in Kashi or that Ram in Kashi. There's another reading also. Kaaba jao chahe Kashi. Go to Mecca or go to Kashi. Kahat Kabir suno bhai sadhu. And Kabir addresses his own mind, but he constantly says, Suno bhai sadhu. But Kabir Das G is calling out to the sadhu in himself and the sadhu that is there in each one of us. Sat means the truth. So many are the beautiful meanings of sadhu, but here he means to say that those who are seeker of truth, and we run here, there, everywhere, places of pilgrimages, different religions, people go to different places and say only here you can find God. Kahat Kabir suno bhai sadho, sahaj mile abhinasi. And this again and again he uses the word sahaj. Sadhu, sahaj. It is immediately, spontaneously, here and now, easily. That abhinashi, that indestructible truth, that unending happiness which leaves behind no craving, sahaj mile abhinasi. How quickly he can be gained by this knowledge of the Atmaram by a disciple who gains knowledge from the Guru. Really speaking, Kabir Das Ji has completely set the stage of the entire spiritual path where our present condition, the goal of life, our misled means And what is that means by which easily we can discover that I am bliss and this entire world is bliss. Because Purnamadaha, Purnam idam. Purnat Purnamudachyate. It is from that Purna only that everything has manifested, and therefore that one who comes to recognize and bring out this essence in oneself, then only that Purna, that fullness remains. And one who knows it can only laugh that I was surrounded by it, I was it, I am it. And all I was doing after lifetimes, and even in this life, and even after hearing this, बिना चाय कोई नहीं खाए. तो पानी में मीन प्यासी, मोहि सुन सुन आवत हासी.